Welcome to ABC News Live All Access. Tonight, Henry Winkler.
Sunday, Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy
In the 1970s and into the 80s, no one was cooler than Henry Winkler in his iconic role as the Fonz on Happy Days.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The greaser with a big heart and signature moves shows us here how he beckoned the ladies.
All right, now listen up, girls. One time only. Line right up here, kiss the Fonz for $1. Now that's a bargain at any price.
Those classic Fonzie moves would launch a career that's still going strong 50 years later.
Henry Winkler.
His latest accolade, an Emmy for his portrayal of acting teacher Gene Cosenow
Kids, you can go to bed now. Daddy won!
on HBO's Barry.
Hey, detective. I know the ins and outs of your profession. From where I'm standing, you check all the boxes.
Winkler's deadpan humor and charm still keep him busy as one of Hollywood's favorite character actors.
Anything else to go over?
We've got everything else to go over. We haven't done anything to get my dad out of jail.
Okay. First of all, what are you doing? Pilates? Because no 40-year-old woman should look like that.
His imprint on American television, even cinema, is everlasting.
You, me, and Ben should go and have a boys' night out.
Can't.
What do you mean you can't? You have to eat sometime. We could whistle at pretty girls.
I'm down for that.
See, he's down.
Henry Winkler now brings his trademark wit and humanity to the pages of his newest installment of the Detective Duck children's book series, Detective Duck, The Mystery of Emerald Pond. But Winkler's career writing dozens of children's books with co-author Lynn Oliver started with the adventures of Hank Zipser. Hank, short for Henry, remains Winkler's alter ego. Here now, my all-access conversation with Henry Winkler. Thank you so much for coming on.
A pleasure to be here.
All right, so let's talk about Zipser, the first character,
Yes.
Zipser.
Hank, he is me.
Yes, a child who has dyslexia early on.
Right.
And why was that so important? Because a lot of your big fans may not know that you have dyslexia.
I am completely dyslexic. I was told I would never achieve. It was hard for me to read. And now I am the author. This is our 40th children's book. Amazing. I am amazed.
It is amazing and proof of what you can do despite.
You can do anything.
Yes.
You have no idea what you can accomplish until you just put one foot in front of the other.
Obviously, having dyslexia often is perceived as a challenge.
Yes.
Was there anything about it that helped you as far as whether it was acting
You know
or
what?
directing?
That's a great question. It made me feel less than. I never knew what I had. I was only called stupid. When I found out, when my first son, my stepson, Jed, in the 3rd grade, we had him tested. And when they told us about him, I went, oh my goodness, that's me. And I found out I wasn't stupid. I wasn't lazy. I literally had something with a name.
Not until you were an adult.
Not until I was in my 30s. So the first thing that happened was I was angry. I mean, all the yelling, all the punishment, all the demeaning language was for naught. I had something that was like given to me by the people who are yelling at me. The second thing that happened was I went, okay, I'm dyslexic. Okay. I have to deal with it. And the third thing was, I'm not sure I would be sitting in this chair chatting with you about all of these wonderful things that have happened in my life if I didn't have the fight.
It was the struggle that
I don't know.
you...
I'm thinking that, yes, it taught me to be, a very short, neurotic person, taught me to be tough. Taught me to, I'm going to find my own way around this. It's like writing the books. I don't sit at a computer. I write with Lynn. There is your way to do something, not a way.
There are so many different themes, as you mentioned, some of them. One of them, chasing your dreams.
Yes.
And why is that important for you to instill that as well for young people?
Because it is so easy for young people, and as they grow into middle people, and then more mature people, it is so easy to lose the concept of, oh, I can do this. You know, it is, oh, I'm too busy. Oh, the kids. Oh, my job. Oh, school. And there's a great saying, if you want something done, give it to a busy person.
That makes sense. I agree with that. Here we are in 2025, and there are still so many young people who are undiagnosed with dyslexia, as you were.
Parents are embarrassed. The teachers are overwhelmed. There are, so many children in one classroom. It is hard to teach the fastest learner and the slowest learner and still keep pace with your syllabus, with your program for the year.
And so what is your advice to not only parents, but teachers and the children who are, I just heard a story today from a parent who was saying when they were teaching their son to read still at 7 and he was having a hard time and they were getting so frustrated with him, but not even realizing it.
The most important thing is to see the child in front of you. As a parent, a brother, sister, aunt, uncle, teacher, to see who is in front of you. They are not having a hard time because they want to make trouble. They are not acting out because they want to make trouble. It is the wiring that is hereditary. So if you see a problem, even if you cannot solve the problem, even if you don't know what to do, what you know how to do is to make that child feel okay about being who they are. I think that is the basis of living. Making sure a child has a sense of self.
I personally write children's books, love to do it as well, because I do think it's so important to plant those seeds early and different. But what is it for you that you keep going back to the children's books in particular?
First of all, it is what I know how to do. It is what I do very well with Lynn Oliver. And I will tell you that we write comedy first. No matter what the theme is, they are funny because we believe that comedy is the entry gate to making a reader. You know, there are so many children who are afraid. I was afraid to read. I read my first novel at 31.
Wow.
So if you write comedy, if it is not an assignment, but an entertainment, all of a sudden there is a comfort level with trying, even if it's hard.
Funny little story that you reminded me of. You said you just read your first novel at 31.
Yes.
You did an interview where you said you didn't learn how to really act until you were 72.
That is true.
What took you so long?
I'm a slow learner. Do you know what? My self-image was so down around my ankles for so long.
There are two kinds of people, cool and nerds, and the people down in Arnold's are nerds.
I had a dream at 27. That's when I got the Fonz. And I changed my voice, and it unleashed my imagination. And then I knew what I wanted at 27, but it took me until Barry at 72 to really come into comfort level, being able to do what my imagination wanted.
All right, so we got the third in the Detective Duck series.
Oh, my goodness.
What keeps you coming back to these characters?
Well, first of all, she is so much fun to write. During the pandemic, Lynn Oliver called and said, hey, remember that book that Hank Zipser pulled off the shelf from the library? It was called Detective Duck.
Yes.
It was just a title. Wouldn't that make a great character? And then we were doing a jigsaw puzzle at the time of a beautiful pond in New Hampshire, Stacy and I, my wonderful wife. And, well, she does the puzzle and I walk through and put a piece in. And I said, and I know where the duck lives. I took a picture of the puzzle and sent it to Lynn. And there you have Detective Duck, who lives on the beautiful pond in New Hampshire. And in this book, we have friendship, we have friendly competition, we have jealousy, and we have neighbors, and we have the idea that it's okay for your friend to have another friend. There's room for everybody.
And why was it so important you and Lynn Oliver dedicate this book really to anybody who is working to preserve the earth? Why enter climate change and in the environment, the importance of preserving the environment in a children's book so early on?
First of all, because when you present that to a child, you get them thinking. You get them thinking early, and hopefully they will carry that action into their life. Second of all, the world we live on, there is only one, and I really do believe we should take care of it.
Tell us about your relationship with Lynn Oliver, your co-author, and also illustrator Dan Santat.
Lynn Oliver and I started in 2003. I met her because I couldn't get hired as an actor. And my friend, Alan Berger, who's an agent, said, you know what, I'll introduce you to Lynn. We had lunch. We hatched Hank Zipser. We both work in television, so the way we work was comfortable. And we have written 40 novels together. Now, we have had...
And more on the way.
And more on the way. We had several illustrators, and they were great. But, you know, there is a relationship. You can't really have a relationship. The publisher gets in the middle. They don't want you to have too much say about what the illustrator is doing. True. Dan Santat is like a gift from heaven. He got emotionally, and he got the humor, and he also is a brilliant artist on his own. He's won major literary awards, and he brought the Duck and Her Pond Squad to life.
When you think about teamwork, which is another theme that's in the book.
Yes, the Pond Squad.
Yes.
All of her friends, they seem to get everything done together, where it's really hard to do individually.
Would you say that you learned a little bit of that as an actor, whether it was Happy
Without
Days,
a doubt.
Arrested Development, Barry?
Without a doubt. Not only that, but we write together. I talk, Lynn types. Lynn has an idea, she types, I wait. She reads it back to me, and then we argue over every word. It is exactly the way a situational comedy room on Wednesday night, rewrite night, when you're rewriting the whole script, that's how it works. It is all of the writers contributing the best jokes to get that script in shape to shoot.
Tell us about what you just did back at your old elementary school on the Upper West Side.
Our little salamander gets so jealous and doesn't realize there is room for everybody.
What was your message?
So, Hank Zipser goes to PS 87. I went to PS 87 on the west side of New York City. A few years ago, I went to the Emmys, and I saw Timothy Chalamet.
Yes.
And I said, I've got to shake your hand because you are so good. He said, I have to hug you because when I was in the 4th grade, I was at PS 87. You came to read Hank Zipser, and I was there in the audience.
Wow.
And here we are meeting as professionals. I thought that was one of the great things that happened in my professional life.
Such a full circle moment.
Really?
What was your message to the kids?
My message is you have greatness in you. And your job is to figure out what your gift is. You know, Lynn and I ask almost every classroom, anybody know what they're great at? And they all know.
Yes.
One kid said, I'm great at breathing. I'm great at soccer. One kid said, I am great at imagining. So, and one kid said, I am great at logarithms. I said, well, that makes one of us. But, you know, they all know what they're great at. That's the other thing a teacher and a parent, a brother and a sister can do. See where your that child excels, and then help them meet their destiny.
Coming up,
you are just a month away from turning 80.
Who?
A month away from turning 80 years old.
I have to check my license.
That's right. That's right. You
80.
What keeps you so
Where's my
young?
walker?
welcome back to ABC News Live All Access.
You are an Emmy-winning actor, a prolific children's book writer, a philanthropist. Is there any chapter in your book of life that you're still itching to write?
I want to see my grandchildren grow into these incredible adults. We have 7 grandchildren, and I love my job. I want to continue doing my job.
You are just a month away from turning 80.
Who?
A month away from turning 80 years old.
I have to check my license.
That's right. That's right. You
80.
What keeps you so
Where's my
young?
walker? You know what? I don't know. I don't know. I'm just thankful that I have the energy to continue to do what I'm doing. I do this wonderful new show on the History Channel called Hazardous History. We did 8 episodes. So many people watched. We were just picked up for another 30.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
And explain that. This is all the things, the practices that we used to do that nearly killed us or could have killed us. We were just trying to have fun.
They probably had no idea about the hazards faced by the workers who refined the gas that kept our cars running.
But this is only one of countless products the refinery is constantly turning out for the diverse needs of America.
But within a year of production, they find that some of the workers start to exhibit strange maladies.
So there was a gentleman who thought, okay, we have no entertainment. He went to Texas. He built a faux town outside of Abilene, and he put down railroad tracks. He got 2 locomotives, had them at full steam, and they raced toward each other. He thought, you know, a few people will come. 40,000 people showed up. They exploded as they ran into each other. People were killed. Some were maimed. Nobody ran away. They all ran toward the accident in order to get a souvenir.
This was entertainment.
This was entertainment for years.
What made you decide, I want to be a part of this show?
Do you know what? It put a smile on your face. Each of these facts, there were chemistry sets with radioactive uranium, so you could make an atomic cloud in your house at 8 and get very sick at 15.
Fascinating stuff and not all that long ago for many of these things.
Not all that long ago, no.
So, Happy Days, which does feel in some ways like it wasn't all that long ago, that we know that time-wise it was 50 years ago.
50 years ago. I was just this past weekend. I was with Don Most and Anson Williams. A couple of months before that, we were all together with Ron Howard. It is true family.
And Marion, she played Marion Cunningham, but Marion Ross is still alive today.
She is.
What do you think it is about Happy Days? Because there are so many shows that were hit successes for a while, but the cast, they kind of go their own way.
Gary Marshall was a genius. Rest his soul. I miss him every day. He taught us all how to be producers, directors, executive producers, how to run a show, how to act on a set. The writing was great. We played ball every Sunday. Gary started a softball team, and the team that plays together stays together. We traveled all over the world playing with the USO. It was also, remember, set in the 50s. So it was timeless even then. So when you see it, it's not tied down to an era.
You were recently inducted to the Television Academy Hall of Fame.
I was.
Thank you so much. And I am overwhelmed to be here.
How did that feel to be honored in front of your peers for helping to shape the last 5 decades of TV, in particular sitcom?
Unbelievable. Now, I was born on 78th and Broadway right here in New York. You dream. I'm dreaming about being an actor, but you never dream about being in a hall of any fame. And my friend, Bob Daly, suggested to the voting committee, what about Henry? And they said, well, no, because he's already in. They assumed I was already in years ago. And the class, Viola Davis, Ryan Murphy, Mike Post, the great composer, Don Mishner, the very tall Conan O'Brien.
Yes, he is very tall.
In my speech, I said, you have some of my height, and I watched you win an award, you know, the Mark Twain Award.
Oh, yes.
And the way that everybody spoke to you, I'd like to be your friend. And he said, no way.
Right away. That's that comic, that timing, that comedic timing.
I don't think he was kidding. I've never gotten a call. Conan, where are you?
When do you think ever about your legacy?
No.
And never?
I never do. I only think about, people say, well, what is your favorite thing you've ever done? And outside of my family and these books, which I am unbelievably proud of, my favorite thing is the next thing I do.
What's the next thing?
Well, the more hazardous history.
Oh, okay. So there's going to be another
duck
season.
is coming.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Oh, yes. Another adventure. It's already written. I don't know if I'm allowed to tell you that.
Okay.
But it's very exciting.
We won't tell.
And then there is a show that we are just starting to develop. That I cannot talk about that. But
okay. All right.
I'm going to knock on wood when I find something.
We'll zip it up on that.
Thank you.
What keeps you going as far as the ability to still get more opportunities? Because you have a lot of actors who are willing to work, who would like to work, and you have transcended the decades.
I'm not sure. I know that it is a lot of luck. It is the universe. Max, our youngest, said at 10, I want to be a director. And now he runs shows and directs them. And
he knew at 10.
He knew at 10, and he wasn't kidding. Zoe is a philanthropist, our daughter. And Jed works in show business, in the business of show business. Max said to me, when the universe gives you a present, accept it. And at this moment, the universe is being extraordinary to me. And I say that with so much gratitude.
Well, we say with so much gratitude to you. Thank you so much for the conversation.
It is always a pleasure, isn't it?
Always. The pleasure is all mine.
We always have a good time.
Yes, we do.
We thank the always affable Henry Winkler for that conversation. And thank you for watching All Access. Each episode of All Access can be found on Hulu and Disney+. Thanks so much for streaming with us.